Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Chanabala Kirit Paradhari. Gopi Chanabala Kirit Paradhari. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yamunatira Vanachari. Yamunatira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Janabala Kirit Paradhari. Gopi Janabala Kirit Paradhari. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yamunatira Vanachari. Yamunatira Vanachari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaur Haribo. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Srila Prabhupada. Gaur Premanande. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Sarasatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayat Nistapraeshu Vabhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistaki. We're reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, Chapter number 17, Text number 43. How are you all going to chant the verse? How do you usually chant the verse every morning? Siloncha Vritya Paritushta Chito Dharmam Mahantam Virajam Jushana Mai Arpitatma Greha Eva Tishtan nati prasakta prasakta samupaiti shantim. I think it's easier if everybody has their own mobile phone. Huh? We're on Canto 11, Chapter 17, text number 43. Siloncha vritya paritushta chitta dharmam mahantam virajam jusana my arpit atma griha eva tishtan mati prasakta samupaiti santim siloncha vritya paritushta chitta dharmam mahantam virajam jushana my arpit atma griha eva tish nati prasakta samupaiti shantim siloncha vritya paritushta chitta Dharmam mahantam virajam jushana Mayarpitatma griha eva tishtan Nati prasakta samupaiti shantim. Sila uncha of gleaning grains. Vritya by the occupation. Paritushta fully satisfied. Chitta whose consciousness. Dharmam religious principles. Mahantam magnanimous and hospitable. Virajam purified of material desire. Jushana cultivating. Mai in me. Arpita dedicated. Atma whose mind. Grehe at home. Eva even. Tishtan remaining. Na not. Ati very. Prasakta attached. Samupaiti achieved. Shantim liberation. Translation. A Brahmana householder should remain satisfied in mind by gleaning rejected grains from agricultural fields and marketplaces. Keeping himself free of personal desire, he should practice magnanimous religious principles with consciousness absorbed in me. In this way, a Brahmana may stay at home as a householder without very much attachment and thus achieve liberation. You can all repeat after me. A Brahmana householder should remain satisfied in mind by gleaning rejected grains from agricultural fields and marketplaces, keeping himself free of personal desire. he should practice magnanimous religious principles with consciousness absorbed in me. In this way, a Brahmana may stay at home as a householder without very much attachment and thus achieve liberation. Purport. Mahantam refers to magnanimous religious principles such as very hospitably receiving guests, even those who are uninvited and unexpected. Householders must always be magnanimous and charitable to others, being alert to curb unnecessary affection and attachment in family life. In the past, very renounced Brahmana householders would collect grains that had fallen on the ground in the marketplace, or those that had been left behind in the fields after harvesting. The most important item here is Maya Arpitatma, meaning fixing the mind in Lord Krishna. Despite his material situation, anyone who constantly meditates upon the Lord can become a liberated soul. As stated in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Iha yashya haredashe karmana manasagira nikilasvapi avastastu jivan muktas uchate. A person acting in Krishna consciousness, or in other words, in the service of Krishna, with his body, mind, intelligence and words, is a liberated person, even within the material world, although he may be engaged in many so-called material activities. Om Jnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chaksurun Militanyena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Tapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Bandeham Shri Guru Shri Yata Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sakrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishaka Nitamscha. Hey Krishna Karana Sindhu Dhinna Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gorange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu bhayevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavari Paschatya Desatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we're hearing part of Uddhava Gita. Lord Krishna is giving instructions to Uddhava before Lord Krishna departs from the world. So here in this chapter, he's giving instructions for people in different varnas and ashrams. So we're hearing about the duty of the householders. Householders. Srila Prabhupada was asked by some young devotees, you know, they just recently got married, and they asked Srila Prabhupada, what is our duty as a grihasta? And Prabhupada said, he told them, he said, whenever you cook food, you should go to the door and call out, is anybody hungry? Food is now ready in our home. If anybody is hungry, please come and take some food. And in this way, Prabhupada gave the instruction for the grihastas. The point is that grihastas tend to be, you know, there's a lot of opportunity for sense gratification in householder life. In the ashram, it's not quite like that. In the ashram, everything is, you know, controlled. Men here, women there, and then food there, it's all arranged, you know. But at home, you can do all kinds of things. You can, you know, of course, there's the opportunity to associate with the other sex, and there's the opportunity to eat luxuriously, which you may not have that opportunity just eating regular prasadam in the ashram. But when you're at home, you may tend to eat luxuriously. We know here in India, and you know, you have Bengali sweet shops, and you have all kinds of delicacies people can eat. You can eat a lot of namkins all the time, and you can sleep a lot too. Yesterday we were having a program, and one man told us he's sleeping between 10 to 14 hours a day. You know, so that tendency can be there in grihasta life. You know, that people can do these, they can eat a lot and sleep a lot, and they may not care about others. So it's a duty in grihasta life. The duty is that they have to take care of, give the opportunity to other people. Srila Prabhupada described how in his childhood, he said his father every day would bring guests to their home. Every day they'd bring people to their home. Sometimes it's 4 or 5 people would be coming to their home every evening to take their meals in the home with the family. So the idea is, you know, when you're in grihasta life, it's not that you close the door and don't come and don't disturb me. You know, this is my griha. I do what I like here. Don't you come and disturb me. But the idea is in grihasta and family life, you know, grihasta is different. There's different kinds of householders. There's the grihasta and there's the grihamedi. So the grihasta is a spiritual ashram. He's living in family life for the sake of making spiritual advancement. But the grihamedi, he's also in family life, but his purpose is his own sense gratification. And he doesn't think, his whole business is just envious of others and always thinking to be more and more comfortable and live more and more luxuriously and not thinking about doing any service for the Lord. So here in this verse, Lord Krishna is describing about some of the duties of the grihasta. And he describes, first of all, that they can eat they can pick up the grains from the field left after harvesting. Some, after they do the harvesting, there will be some grains left in the field. So they can go over the field and collect the grains, what are left there in the field. Or they can go to the marketplace. In the marketplace, there'll be wholesalers dealing with big sacks of rice, and there'll be some grains of rice also there on the ground. So they can collect these grains of rice. And in this way, they can maintain themselves eating the grains of rice which are just left, laying, not taken by anyone. In Chaitanya Lila, there was one brahmachari called Suklambar Brahmachari, and he used to live by collecting grains of rice. He would beg, and he would also pick up grains of rice here and there in the marketplace and like that. And Lord Chaitanya told Suklambar that, he said, I want to come and take prasadam with you. So Suklambar, he never purchased any rice. He just collects the rice in the street. Whatever grains of rice are laying on the ground, he will pick them up and take them for himself and cook them. And so Suklambar collected some rice in that way, and then he prepared the meal for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He got some green leaves which were growing wild, some sak, and he cooked everything. And Lord Chaitanya came and said, he said, this food is so wonderful. Lord Chaitanya said, I've never tasted such nice rice. Because Lord Chaitanya knew that this rice had been taken in a very disciplined manner, just collecting it from the ground, and whatever was not taken by people, he would pick it up and take it. So it was not like the best quality rice. It was maybe all chipped and broken and so on. But Lord Chaitanya relished it because it had been earned in a very pure manner. He had not, everything else, you go to purchase something, but the money and so on you use to purchase things, there's always some karma there with it. There's a lot of karma with the earning money, and you use money, you go to the shop and you buy things. There's so much karma always there. But if you pick it up off the ground, which is it's just left there, nobody wants it, then there's no karma there. You see? So that's the idea. Here it's mentioned, the grihasta, that they can pick up the grains in the field and use them, or they can go in the marketplace and collect the grains which are laying on the ground, which are nobody claims them, and take them and cook them and live on them. In this way can maintain your life. So like that, it's a very great austerity. But the problem is that because in family life, there's so much opportunity for sense gratification that it's very difficult for people in family life to liberate themselves from the material world. Because they have the opportunity all the time for material sense gratification. Prabhupada would another time describe family life. He said, it is like going to a feast and fasting. Right? He said, being in the householder ashram is a bit like going to a feast and fasting. Because the opportunity is always there for sense gratification. The association with the opposite sex, and the tendency to be private, to be away from others, and to eat luxuriously, and to sleep more than necessary, and to waste our time in many different frivolous activities, not to be properly engaged in devotional service. You know, you go to people's homes and they'll have a television, or they'll have computers, and they're maybe using it for computer games and watching movies and all of these things. So that goes on regularly in practically everybody's home today. It's going on. So it's very difficult for them to be liberated. Therefore here Lord Krishna is giving some instructions for the grihastas, what they need to do if they're serious about liberating themselves from the material world. You see, they have to practice some little austerity. You know, like I said, collecting the grains from the ground, you see. And then it's also mentioned that they have to be free of personal desire. Personal desire. Now, we all have some desires. You cannot be free of all desire, but personal desires mean material desires. We should be free of material desires, and we should have pure desire, desire for liberation, desire for purification of ourselves. We want to be pure in our eating and sleeping, and pure in our mating and our defending, pure activities. So we have to be free of personal desire. Personal desires are selfish. We're just thinking about our own self, what I want, what I will enjoy. So if we have that tendency, then we have to come back again in the material world. We won't achieve the goal of life. The goal of life is to get out from the material world, to get liberation, at least to go beyond birth and death. But so long as we have personal desires, we will come back again into this world. So we have to get rid of personal desires. And then we have to practice magnanimous religious principles. Religious principles mean we should be charitable to others. We should be caring about others, thinking how we can help people, what we can do for other people who are in need. We have to be careful not to be overly affectionate towards our own family and becoming too attached to our own family members. So even in household life, you know, of course in household life you have to have some affection for the family, but it should not be too much. It should not be unnecessary affection. You know that some people, they go over the limit. They have too much affection for the family. That they'll give everything for the family, do everything for them, and they don't have any time or interest to do other things. That their whole life is just the family, So we have to be, householders have to be careful about that. On one hand, they have to take care of the family, but on the other hand, they should not take too much care. Just like the family want to eat forbidden food. The family want meat, fish, and eggs. The family want to go gambling. The family want alcohol. You know, we don't encourage this kind of thing. The family want to spend the whole night just watching movies, Bollywood movies, watching programs on television, and in this way passing their life. And now you get young children, they say, I don't want to go to school anymore. Right? The child doesn't want any education. And the parent, oh, what to do? He doesn't want to go to school, And, okay, just stay at home, So, there's certain duties there in family life. Certainly they have to take care and show affection, but it should not be excessive affection. We should not, the householder has to be careful not to cater to all of the whims and desires of all the family members. But some people do like that. Their whole time, all their income and everything is spent just satisfying and fulfilling the desires of the different family members. Of course, definitely things like girls, arrange the marriage, and they will spend so much money for these things, for the marriages, for their daughters, and for the young children, they will buy so many stupid toys and things for them. So we have to be careful about the attachment. So in the purport, it says the main point in this purport is that people should practice religious principles with consciousness absorbed in me, Lord Krishna says. So we have to be Krishna conscious. So how to be Krishna conscious? Of course, in this Kali Yuga, you have to chant the holy name. That is very important, the chanting of the holy name. So in family life, you also have to chant the holy name. And every home, they should have a deity, and they can worship Krishna in their home. And the family members should grow up seeing the deity. Prabhupada used to speak about the one family in Kanpur, I think it's Singhanias, JK or something like that. And he said in their home they have the deity. And if it's all the they have a joint family, all living together, and they have the rule that if any one member of the family does not go to see the deity that day, then he will be asked to pay a fine. You see? And the one who is doing the puja, some brahmana, he will say, you did not come yesterday, you have to pay the fine. And they will pay the fine. It's a rule, standing rule in their family. It's all like that, it's a very nice... Srila Prabhupada actually said about devotees, he said, if you don't come to Mangal Arti, then you have to distribute one Krishna book. That was the rule. Prabhupada had said that. If you miss the Mangal Arti, then you have to go out and distribute one Krishna book. And in that way you can atone for not coming to the Mangal Arti. So, like this, the point is householder life. It doesn't mean just do what you want. I'm a grihasta, this is for your brahmachari, you're different. Yeah, there are differences, but everyone's duty is to become Krishna conscious. Lord Chaitanya did not tell people to change. Lord Chaitanya didn't tell people, oh, give up the householder life. No. Lord Chaitanya quoted Srimad Bhagavatam verse. It said, Stane stita shruti gatan tanvan manobir ye prayaso jita japit taishrilokyam. That stane stita means stay in whatever position you are in. You stay and hear about Krishna and engage in Krishna conscious activities. You don't have to change your position. Whatever ashram you're brahmachari, okay. You're grihastha, okay. You don't have to change that position. But you have to hear in the association of devotees. You have to get the association of devotees, and you have to hear about Lord Krishna and the process of devotional service. And in this way, you can conquer Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna becomes conquered by that devotee who is practicing in that way. So this verse was acknowledged when Lord Chaitanya was talking with Ramananda Rai. He was asking him, give me some verses from the scriptures about the goal of life. And Ramananda Rai, he's a grihastha. He was a family man, and he had a job. He was working for the Maharaj Prataparudra. But he was a great devotee, and he had learned so many wonderful verses from the scripture. And so he went through different levels of devotion. He talked about, first of all, Varnashram, and Lord Chaitanya said that is external. To just follow the duties of Varnashram, that is external. And so then he spoke about Swadharma Tyag, giving up no, is it Swadharma Tyag? Anyway, Karmani, but Yaj Karoshi Yajashnasi Yaj Johosi Dadashiyat, you know, Tat Kurushva Mad Arpanam. So offering the results of our work to the Lord. This idea, the karmarpana, offering the results of our work to the Lord. Lord Chaitanya said, that's not enough. You have to go higher than that. Because you may offer to Krishna, you may offer to Ganesh, you may offer to Kali, there's so many gods and goddesses they worship. Who are you going to give the offering to? So Lord Chaitanya said, that is not the highest thing. So then he spoke about Sarva Dharma Parigyajna. He said, this is Swadharmatya, giving up everything. And Lord Chaitanya said, still not enough. It's still not enough because people are motivated why they want to surrender to Krishna. Right? If I become a devotee, I'll have nice prasadam. You know? It'll be nice for me. I can have nice prasadam every day and live comfortably in the brahmachari ashram, and I'll eat and sleep nicely. So that's not devotion. It's not real devotion. One man came to Prabhupada. He said, I want to become a devotee. I want to become sannyasi. Prabhupada asked him why. He said, oh, my wife and 4 kids at home, it's terrible. You know? So, you know, that's not a good reason to surrender to Krishna, you know. That's not pure devotion. So then, Ramananda Roy spoke about Jnana Mishra Bhakti, gave a verse from Bhagavad Gita, Brahmabhuta, Krishna, Brahmabhuta prasanatman asochati nakanchati sama sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labate param. That one who's situated on the platform of Brahman, he sees everyone equally, and he doesn't hanker or lament for anything, and in this way he can engage in devotional service. But Lord Chaitanya said, go higher, keep going. And then he gave the verse which Lord Chaitanya wanted, and that verse is from Srimad Bhagavatam. It's Lord Brahma offering prayers to Lord Krishna, and he's saying, just stay in whatever position you're in and hear about Krishna. And in this way, you can conquer Lord Krishna. Although Lord Krishna is Ajita, he's unconquerable, but he becomes conquered by the pure love of his devotee. And how do you show that pure love? By simply hearing about Krishna. So this way, our consciousness becomes absorbed in Krishna. Right? When we come to the temple, we become more absorbed in Krishna. when you're at home, you sit in front of the mirror, you look at yourself, you're not thinking of Krishna. It's different, you know. But when you come to temple, we come and see Radha Govinda, Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra. It's a different experience. The consciousness changes. We become conscious of Krishna. We see Prabhupada here. And this way, our whole consciousness becomes elevated just by coming to temple. So temples are important. It's important for us to come to temple and to hear about Krishna. We don't just come to see, we come to hear. Right? Some people think, no, just go to temple and break a coconut or ring the bell, like they do in South India. You go to these kind of temples. But this temple, people come to hear. And the opportunity has to be there for them to hear, not just only see. Just like when we go to a holy place, when we go to Mayapur or so on, we go to hear, not just to see, not just to take a bath. That is foolish to just go there and take a bath and come. Many people do that. That's not the real purpose. So to get our consciousness absorbed in Krishna, it's important for us to hear. So Lord Krishna said, Brahmana may stay at home. That's all right. But stay at home without so much attachment. Don't be so attached to your home. My home, like that, how long can you be in the home? We take birth and we will die one day. We have to leave the home. You cannot take the home with you. So we have to understand the temporary nature of everything in this world. And that's difficult when you're in family life. Because in family life, people are usually thinking about economic development, right? Wow, yeah, we have to have, we have to elevate our economy. We need more money. The politicians are always speaking about economic development. We're going to develop the country, and all the grihastas, okay, good, we'll vote for you. We'll give you our vote, right? That's what they want. They want the votes. So they have to promise economic development for everyone. We'll give you more money for sense gratification. They don't say, we will give you liberation. Nobody ever promises them liberation. You have to come to Hare Krishna to hear about that, you see. We're saying, we will take you beyond birth and death. That is very nice. We should want that. They asked Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati about which was the best ashram, to be in Grihastha ashram or to be renounced. And he said, oh, Grihastha is the best ashram. But then he said, not the Grihastha of this world, but be in the house of Nanda Maharaj. Nanda Maharaj means the father of Lord Krishna. He said, be in that ashram, that home. Be there with Lord Krishna. That is the real success in life, to be connected to Krishna. So we have to every day we have to monitor ourselves to become more and more Krishna conscious. So regularly hearing and chanting. Prabhupada said these are the roots of the creeper of devotion. Right? We've got the seed of devotion. The Bhakti Lada Beach has been planted by good fortune. Brahmanda Brahmite Kunya Bhagavan Jeev. Guru Krishna Prasad Pai Bhakti Lata Beach. So the creeper of devotion, it has been planted. We have become fortunate souls. We have to water that seed, by regularly hearing and chanting, and let our creeper of devotion grow, and let it grow out of the material world. Let it grow into the spiritual world and take shelter at the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. And then we want to have the fruit on the just like the mango trees, you know, you want to see some fruit on the trees. If there's no fruit, you know, just a mango tree, nothing. But when there's mangoes on the tree, then it's something valuable. So we want the fruit of the bhakti lata. And that fruit, of course, that is prema. That is love. Krishna prem. We want to develop that love. Mahaprabhu said, prem punarto mahan. The goal of life is to develop love of God. Krishna prem. Right? We have love. People love their dog. They love their car. They love their home. Like that. How many people love Krishna? This is very important for us to develop that love for Krishna. So Prabhupada said, there's only one qualification to see God. And he quoted the Brahma Samhita, Premanjana Charita Bhakti Vilochanin, that to actually see Krishna, we have to have that ointment of love on our eyes. We have to develop that attraction for Krishna, that we want to see Krishna. Just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he went to Gaya and he got his initiation from Ishwara Puri. And then he came back from Gaya and he went to Kanai Natsala. On his way to Navadvip, he came through Kanai Natsala. And at Kanai Natsala, Lord Krishna appeared to him. Now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna, but remember, he's cultivating Radha Bhav. He's come in the mood of a devotee. And Lord Krishna appeared to him. But then he disappeared. Actually, they say Kanai Natsala, that is the place where Lord Krishna comes when he disappears from the Rasa Leela. Right? We just had the Purnima. That was when they have the Rasa Leela. Right? Magi Purnima. Right? Lord Krishna danced Rasa Leela. So, Lord Krishna appeared to Mahaprabhu, but then he disappeared. And Mahaprabhu said, oh, Krishna, oh, where did he go? You know, he wants to see Krishna. So this is the mood of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's the mood of the gopis. Vipralamba, that feeling of separation. The mood of the gopis that think, where is Krishna? When will Krishna come? And they're always remembering Krishna. Lord Krishna was asked why he does these things. Why does he go away from the devotee? He comes and he's with them for some time, and then he goes away and leaves them. And Lord Krishna said, just like a man may be very poor, but then he may get a lot of money. He gets a lot of wealth, and he's enjoying the wealth, but then he loses the money again. And when he loses the money, then, oh, he's so heartbroken. He feels so bad. Oh, my money. Oh, yeah. You know, sometimes, you know, people do these things. They get tempted, you know, invest the money, you'll get more, and they lose all the money, you know. Out of the greed, you know, they lose all the money. So, Lord Krishna said, the same way, he gives himself to the devotee, and then he disappears. And then the devotee, where's Krishna? They want Krishna again. And this way they feel greater and greater affection for Krishna. It's to increase their love for Krishna. All right? Hare Krishna. Any question? Marriages, any questions? You've all got Krishna Prem? Yes? You've got Prem, but maybe for somebody else, right? Yes, Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you for your nectarian class. Maharaj, my question is, you told us that we have to develop that love for Krishna, and Krishna disappears from the presence to increase that love. So, but in our case, we have not developed that type of attraction or attachment to Krishna, and so when he is not with us, that time also we are not feeling that separation, intense separation. So how can we develop that attraction and attachment for Krishna?
How can we develop that? By hearing more. The more you hear about Lord Krishna and his pastimes, then the more we will develop that feeling for Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada said, it's our duty as devotees to develop that feeling for Krishna. Yeah? So, the more we hear and chant, the more we should think, where is Krishna? When will he come? Now, Krishna is everywhere. He's in everything. But we don't see him. Right? So we have to develop that consciousness that where is Krishna? We want to find him. If we're not developing our love for Krishna, then something's wrong. We're not thinking enough about him. We're just being mechanical. We're just doing some work here. Oh, I'm the cleaner. Oh, I'm the sweeper. Oh, I'm the cook. And you don't think about Krishna. There's no consciousness of Krishna. That's not good. It's not enough. We have to develop that mood. So it's very important for everyone that they have to hear regularly. We have to be reading Prabhupada's books more and more. Developing our taste, the taste for Krishna. When is he coming? When is Krishna coming? So that's why we hear and chant, and we try to increase our hearing and chanting. We want to hear and chant regularly. So Prabhupada always encourages the devotees like that. Hear more. Try to hear more and study more. Prabhupada wanted to see that we're reading his books carefully. And so then, this is the mood of the Goswamis. The Goswamis had that mood. They were following in the mood of the gopis. Vipralamba Seva. Service in separation. They were doing service, and at the same time they were feeling separation from Krishna. They were not idle. They were all active, engaged in service. So it's not like we stop doing everything, but in the course of our service we need to remember Krishna. So we can chant. We chant different slokas and different prayers, and remembering the words of these devotees. So the gopis, there's Gopi Gita. You can sing the Gopi Gita every day. It's all about separation. The gopis' separation from Krishna. Chanting Hare Krishna mantra, you can chant in that separation from Krishna. The gopis were always feeling that fire of separation. So we should also be thinking more how to become more attached to Krishna. We should want to see Krishna, right? The whole process of bhakti culminates in bhava and prema. And so we have to go on. We have to get through anartha nivritti, and after you get through anartha nivritti, then the other stages come quickly. Nishta Ruchi Asakti Bhava Prema. They come quickly, but you have to be very thorough to get through Anartha Nivritti. Right? So it's all. Yes, Prabhu, you have a question?
Hare Krishna, ধন্যবাদ প্রণাম মহারাজ। আমি একজন গৃহস্থ, তো আমি আমার স্ত্রী, তো আমি যখন ভক্তিপথে যখন আমার স্ত্রীকে যদি কোনো হয়তো মঙ্গলারতিতে উঠতে দেরি করলো, তো আমি তখন ওকে বললাম তুমি মঙ্গলারতিতে কেন উঠতে দেরি করলে করে বকা দিলাম, বা অন্যান্য বিষয়ে যখন বকা দিই তখন পাশের যে ভক্তদের বাড়ির সাথে তার সাথে আমাকে তুলনা দেয় যে ওই প্রভুটা তো ওই মাতাজির সাথে ওরকম ব্যবহার করছে না, তুমি কেন আমার সাথে এরকম দুর্ব্যবহার করছো। বা আমি যখন প্রচারে যাই আমার স্ত্রীকে নিয়ে যখন একটা ক্লাস দিতে যাই, তো সেই প্রচারে যে ক্লাস দিতে ভক্তদের সাথে যে মানে প্লয়েড ব্যবহারটা করি, সে তখন বলে তুমি তো ক্লাস দিতে যে ওদের সাথে কত সুন্দর প্লয়েডভাবে ওদের সাথে মিশছো, কথা বলছো, কিন্তু আমার সাথে তখন তো আমার সাথে তুমি কেন এরকম দুর্ব্যবহার করছো। কিন্তু সেই দুর্ব্যবহারটা যখন আমি শুধরে নিয়ে যখন আমার স্ত্রীর সাথে প্লয়েডভাবে আরও মিষ্টিভাবে কথা বলতে যাচ্ছি, তখন আমার স্ত্রীর সাথে আবার সংযুক্তভাবে আবার কাছাকাছি যেন একটা এসে যাচ্ছি। তো এই জায়গাটা থেকে আমি কীভাবে ইয়ে হতে পারি। হরে কৃষ্ণ।
This question is that like I am a householder, so when my wife do not come for Mangala Arati, so I tell her that why you are not coming for Mangala Arati. So then she become unhappy that why you are speaking me roughly, or you are chastising me. And then when I go with my wife for preaching, and then I take care of other devotees, so then she says that you are taking care of others so nicely, but you don't speak like that with me. And then I do means I talk to my wife very nicely, sweetly, and during that course I become very intimate and very attached to my wife. So how to overcome this situation? Like that is the question mark.
Well, yeah, we have to understand women. You know, you can always do Mangal Arti at home. You know, as grihastas, you know, you're living at home. It's not like you have to come here to temple every morning. Of course, it's very nice that you do, but as far as your wife, it's probably easier for her to have the arti at home. You do arti in your home, and that way then everybody in the home can take part. Sometimes you can come to temple. Women generally, they're more comfortable at home, and we don't put too much pressure on the women that they have to come to temple all the time. He's doing Mangalarti at home. Oh, his wife doesn't come. When he does the arti at... Oh, she comes late. Well, anyway. You have to be tolerant with the woman, you know. You cannot expect too much. But whatever you do, you know, the wife will share the benefit. So that's nice, you know. You do. If actually the husband should be a good devotee, and he's attached to, and the wife will follow the husband. And when the husband goes back to Godhead, then wife will follow the husband. She can also go back to Godhead. So that is the idea, that if your wife is chaste and she follows you, then she's a good wife. You can't complain. Sometimes the husband's not devotee, and the men are not devotee, and the wife is a devotee. We often find like that the men are not devotee, but the women are very devoted. And the women do and you ask the men about it, they say, oh, my wife does everything. You see? And so anyway, they share each other's pious and sinful activities.
His main question was like, in this verse, like it is said that the householder should be like detached, and like as you spoke in the classes, so he's saying that like I tell my wife that come for Mangalarti, and then she don't feel good. And then when I go for preaching, I take care of the devotees, and then she will compare that you are taking care of others very nicely, sweetly, but you don't talk to me nicely. Now, when I talk to her nicely, then I become attached. So now this verse is saying that the householder should be detached, should have affection, but he should be detached. So how
well, externally you have to show affection, and internally you have to maintain detachment. You know, in other words, you have to speak nice to her, but at the same time, in your heart, you have to understand she's a spirit soul, she's a part of Krishna, and your real attachment is to Krishna. But you have to, externally, you should speak nicely to her. This is householder life. That's what it's all about. You know, you have to be nice, and at the same time in your heart, you don't want to get too attached. So the verse speaks about excessive attachment. You have to have some attachment, that is natural, but it shouldn't be too much attachment. Right? You just have to keep a control on the attachment. But there has to be some attachment there. That is, otherwise your marriage will be ruined. Okay. Thank you. Yes. So how can we reduce desire for sense gratification and materialistic activities? Well, the more you engage in devotional service, the more you engage in activities with the devotees, and the more you engage in doing things like hearing and chanting, you know, and instead of going to cinema, come to temple. Instead of going to the places for sense gratification, go for purification. You know, go and visit holy places and take part in the programs with the devotees. That is the idea, that if you engage yourself in devotional activities, they will purify you. Everything which you do should have some connection with Krishna. And you should be thinking that this is for Krishna, I'm doing this for Krishna, and we're going there for Krishna, and so on. You go to the market to buy vegetables, we have to offer to Krishna, right? Everything is for Krishna. So like that, you have to train yourself, train the mind to become Krishna conscious. Usually we think, I'm going for get what I want. But devotees think I'm going for Krishna, to get for Krishna. Buy the bhoga for Krishna. And decorate the house. I have to renovate my house or paint the house for Krishna, because Krishna is, you think this is Krishna's house. We don't just think my house, but we think Krishna's house. So see everything in relation to Krishna. And the job, we're doing it for Krishna. We're working for Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Srila Prabhupada ki. To everyone.